As a child, I learned various lessons from my grandparents. Grandpa had a pontoon boat for fishing. He'd take us out. He bought all the minnows. We dug all the worms. But you learn from Grandpa to fish on your side of the boat. Didn't matter who was catching fish, you had to fish on your side of the boat. Grandma had other lessons like, well, you catch them and clean them, and then I'll cook them. But you got to do part of the work. And one that always makes me laugh is we were at Grandma and Grandpa's house in the middle of the winter, and the toilet backed up. Hey, Grandma, the toilet's not working. Use the outhouse, she said. It's cold out. That's okay, hover. Oh, yeah, okay. What if there's no toilet paper? That's what the phone book's for. Grandparents came from a different age than people do, than even I did. It was hilarious. I mean, as a child, I learned a lot. And even my parents, they added to that level of basic knowledge. Because when we were out in the woods, Dad pointed out this one soft looking plant. He says, yeah, if you're ever stuck outside, never use that. Use one of these big leafy weeds if you gotta wipe yourself. Just very basic lessons. Good stuff though. Comes in handy sometime. Went out in the woods with Grandpa one time. He's strapping on a revolver. What's that for? We asked. My brother Mark was there. Ah, just in case there's bears. Oh, Grandpa, you gonna shoot him with the gun? He goes, no, this is just a noisemaker. I'm gonna make a lot of noise and scare him away. If I shot him with this, it'd just make him mad. We learned a lot, because we did go out walking in the woods. And we were walking along the roads, and there were black bears out there. And we showed Grandpa, hey, look, bear tracks. You know, oh, yeah. Well, that's pretty interesting. I remember we walked a little bit farther, and we looked at other bear tracks. Oh, Grandpa, look, more bear tracks over here. We stopped and looked at those, and he said something about being fresh, and he says, why don't we walk the other way? Very good lessons from childhood. My parents moved back up into the same area, and we were out in the garden one evening. And Dad said, pick up the dog. Hold the dog. This was a Jack Russell Terrier. It wasn't very big. And we pretended like we were still gardening, but see, didn't want to let the dog know, because there was a bear going through the yard, 100 feet away or something like that, and the dog hadn't seen it yet. Then the bear passed through the yard and went off into the woods and set the dog back down. And then the bear came up by the garage and looked around, which was, 50, maybe 60 feet away. He was a lot bigger then. And he was smelling in the air, but the dog saw him this time, and the dog was gone. He was chasing the bear. And the bear heard the dog coming, and the bear took off running. It was a great lesson about bears. Yeah, if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. If you got a dog, the dog's going to chase the bears usually. It didn't matter. I mean, this bear looked a couple 100 pounds. The dog was maybe 15 pounds. Didn't matter. The bear ran, the dog chased. Lesson from the grandparents. Actually, it's way up north there, in Minnesota.